Hello, welcome to your next 24 hours. Today is May 6th, 2020. I'm a reader from New York City. This is intended to give you prompts to meditate on throughout the day. Either journal, think about, consider as you endeavor through these next 24 hours. So let's get started. The first row, we have the Empress. Just beautiful, right? And I encourage you to look at these images and read for yourself whether or not you have a background in tarot. What jumps out at you? What do you notice in the card? Those are messages for you too. We have the Devil reversed. And again, I do read reversals. Reversals are not necessarily the opposite meaning, but it does kind of jump out to me to kind of speak to what energy is often blocked or changing. And then we have our good old friend, the Seven of Pentacles. You know, this is take 2 of this daily reading, and it's because my cat came up and decided to be seen, just sat right on top of the cards and said, look at me, instead of look at these darn cards. So I did. I went back and just cuddled with him for the last 20 minutes or so. Something I could not normally do. On any normal day, I am gone for 9 to 10 hours minimum from the apartment. So the fact that I can nurture and be with him and spend more time with him, as much as he's like, when are you going to leave? And give me some space. It really is a gift that we may not get again in our lifetime, to spend this much time with our families. I know many of you, at least those of you around me in New York, are locked in with your families, whatever that family looks like. And it's challenging. You know, we're on day 58 of the lockdown, and we're feeling it. Also, May 7th, I think tonight, is a supermoon, super full moon, Scorpio in Western astrology, Libra in sidereal astrology, depending on what you follow. But either way, this full moon is often about this particular full moon. The theme, from what I understand, has to do with being able to communicate your feelings, how you nurture yourself, how you nurture others, and any kind of inner conflict between your thoughts and your feelings is going to come to light right now in this full flower moon. So it's very appropriate that the Empress shows up here. The focus is on family and relationships with this full moon. And the Devil here, again, Devil represents those things which bind us, that restrict us, that hold us back, negative thought patterns, emotions, feelings, but things we feel tied to. So I think these are actually, speaking very directly to the quarantine. But the Devil reversed here, again, that energy is blocked. So that feeling of maybe, oh my gosh, when am I going to get away from my family? You may feel you may feel that abate a bit today. I also the words that came to mind when I saw that card was free falling. Just this free falling feeling of not feeling anchored, not knowing what's coming next, and really understanding. This is a very emotional full moon, so don't be surprised about that. And then we have, again, the Seven of Pentacles, and not seeing the beauty in the details, the overworked and underpaid card, the woman who is gathering these beautiful roses as just toil, and rather than kind of the joyful act that it is, this opportunity to pick flowers, this opportunity to work, even if it means we're not feeling fully appreciated in the work that we do, or maybe we're out of work. and the anxiety around that. Again, this is just reminding us to be grateful for the routines that we do have today. So with this first line, the prompt, I guess I would ask you, are you feeling a reprieve from the quarantine today? Are you feeling gratitude for your family? Do you feel a shift with that full moon? And is gratitude creeping in despite maybe the way you felt yesterday or the day before? And if not, how can you enhance that? And I do have to wonder about that free-falling feeling. You know, the full moon can also, that conflict between, you know, your thoughts and your feelings can create polarization. We may see some headlines today about nationalism or prejudice or tribalism. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Then we have the Three of Wands, looking out into the horizon, looking at our prospects. And then this is just perfect. We have the King of Cups. This is the water signs, you know, the very emotional aspects of ourselves, right next to the King of Swords. Swords representing thoughts, feelings, cups representing emotions. So this is speaking directly to that tension of the superflower moon, that tension between our thoughts and our feelings, and not knowing really which direction to go in. Which way do we go? Do we go with the emotion? Do we go with the thought? But knowing that we need to act and looking out over the horizon. You know, I think what I'm going to suggest for today is that you do neither, quite frankly. Just acknowledge those thoughts and those feelings and how they differ, and definitely write them down. Write down kind of the actions you want to take and then what you're feeling about those actions. And I think you'll see that they don't necessarily line up. And I say that because at the bottom we have the Three of Swords reversed, the Sun reversed, and the Queen of Swords. So Three of Swords upright is about sorrow, right? Not being able to see really much that's good. This woman is just in pure grief. In traditional Rider-Waite, it's three swords through a heart with rain in the background. But look at this. I'm sorry about this. She's fled. She haphazardly put together a knapsack with her things. She didn't even have time to take her shoes. And you know, this dog is trying to comfort her. I'm just thinking my cat was trying to comfort me this morning. And if you look in the background here, there's invaders. It looks like her village is on fire, and she's just taken what she could and escaped as quickly as she could, but not in any way happy about that. But that is blocked. That's reversed. So I'm going to say, feeling no escape. You know, you may feel. And look at the mirror there. Three of Wands, Three of Swords. This could also be about triangulation, about third-party situations, feeling a conflict between two people, feeling stuck in the middle. And again, this card saying, don't take a stance necessarily. Another way to read this, don't insert yourself into, you know, the middle of drama unnecessarily today, especially if it's not involving you directly. The other way to read this is Three of Swords reversed. I take this card pretty seriously when it shows up reversed, because it says to me that we are not necessarily acknowledging that which is causing us pain. And when we bury feelings of pain, when we push them down, when we don't let that emotion come through, that pain festers, and it can really manifest in physical ailments rather than just feeling the pain, letting it wash through us, and letting it wash away. You know, we all definitely are going through it, ignoring it is not going to be helpful today. Because we have the sun reversed. I also wondered too if this is just about the full moon, but you know, the fact that the moon is going to, you know, take on the full strength of the sun today. How are things looking differently in your life? How are things showing up differently in your life, in this pause or just in general? What are you seeing differently in this global pause? What are you seeing different? How do things look or showing up differently in your life without, you know, your routine, without, you know, a clear light that we used to have in terms of what guides our day to day? The sun here is, in my deck, at least it often represents a child spirit or a child in your life, that maybe there's a conflict with the child today. You're not seeing eye to eye with the child. That could be the third party situation. And then the Queen of Swords. This is really, she's an ass kicker. Stands up for what she believes in, says what she means what she says. You know, she's often called the Widow Queen, but really it's about, you know, using our thought to progress rather than making emotional pleas or, you know, withholding funds. We're just going to try to be logical today, but it does seem like we want to be logical, but there could be some anxiety around family and some pain that we're not acknowledging. So if you find yourself wanting to think your way through a situation, how can you maybe take a different route and actually acknowledge the pain and let it flow through you and out from you, so that you can actually be free of it? The word resentment also came up when I looked at that card. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And I really think this is just the anxiety about the shutdown, the economy in general. Eight of Pentacles is the work card. It's reversed, it's blocked. Probably another new record level of people will be filing for unemployment in the States today, and struggling around the world. So that tension between the head and the heart, how can we start to think less as an individual who doesn't have what they want, and more of how we can take care of others during this time, knowing that when we take care of others, we're taking care of ourselves. You know, that actually may be our opportunity forward and our opportunity to work through this pain. So I'm going to stop there. Wish you a wonderful 24 ahead, and try to see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. Know you're loved, and I'll talk to you soon.